Hello everyone, my name is Zenitsu, and I'm back with another Digimon video. Instead of doing my usual case opening, this time I'm only going to be opening up 4 booster boxes of the newest set, because I personally don't think that it's actually worth investing super heavy in EX sets. The reason why I think this is because there's less cards in the EX sets than a normal set, so it's easier to pull everything rare and below. They do change the pull ratios so that supers and secrets are a little bit harder to get, and there are more alt arts in these, so they are more for fun and for flavor rather than for power and for competitive sake. So that's why I'm only going to be opening up 4 boxes, and then I'm just going to be buying singles of all of the cards that I'm missing. The reason why I'm doing 4 boxes is because I want to try to complete as many playsets of super rares as I possibly can, and, well, if I'm going to be seeing 6 super rares on average per box, and there's only like 10 super rares in the set, then I should be seeing on average about 1 of each super rare, and I should be able to complete at least a playset or 2, or come really close to a playset of all of them, and then kind of see where the secrets are, if I get any at all, so that way I don't have to go and spend on the secrets as well. So that's the reason why I'm doing the whole 4-box rule, and let's just start opening these up and seeing what I get. Let me just do some housekeeping and move these. Alright, box number 1. So I do like the theme of the set being like alternative form Digimon. So that is a pretty fun aspect because a lot of the cards are basically just like color palette swapped Digimon that eventually grew into something a little bit more and became like their own Digimon with their own identity. And then this also gives some pretty decent support for a lot of current decks that were started in like Block 3. And the fact that it is continuing some support for them while introducing a couple of new decks for people to play, like almost right out of the box, is also pretty nice. The big pull is obviously going to be Omnimon, and then the other deck that you could build out of the box is going to be the Alliance deck. So the Alliance deck is going to be a relatively easier deck to build than the Omnimon deck, just because the less supers that you need, but they both should still be relatively easy. So let's just start with pack 1, if I could open these correctly. So, as per usual, first box, I'll go relatively slow so you can really soak in all of the cards, and then on the subsequent boxes, I am going to be starting to ramp things up. So we have Deadly Axe, Gaugamon, Gabumon, Terriermon, Teruimon, Guilmon, and Telamon, Metal Gray, Yukomon, Wereguru, Agumon Expert, and Matentai. So that's pretty medium of a start. But the first pack can't always be a winner. Alright. Greymon, Male Bird, Lotmon, Gaussmon, Windigo, Geogray, Antila, Black Growl, Greymon, Rapid, Terramon's Assistant, and the first SR is Zeedgarurumon. Not particularly a super hot secret to super to get, but it's a super. Usually the secondary market value on like some of these like sub megas that are like just generic cards, they're usually not super hot. And it's more of like the cards that actually have a deck designed for it that will be a little bit more in demand. Peckmon, Skull Knight again, Full Metal Blaze, Agumon, Fake Agumon Expert, Heaven's Judgment, Renamon, I'm not going to butcher that, so Shining Dragon Bullet, I'll just shorten it, Sunomon, Gaomon, Rise Greymon, and Omnimon Alter B as the secret. So that's a pretty good secret to get, not gonna lie. I'll move that over here so you could see them a little bit better. So the fact that I already got a secret is already looking pretty good for me. So I believe there is a 50-50 chance on each of the boxes to get a secret rare. I don't exactly know if that's true or not, because I know that with like EX boosters in a case, you're going to see a total of 6 base art secrets, and then about 2, maybe 3, if you're lucky, 4 alt art secrets. And that's kind of it. So on average, about 8 secrets per case. So it's not exactly 50-50 on if you're going to be seeing it or not. But you will see like 2 to 3 alt arts per box, and then 6 supers. So off to a pretty good start. Pekmon, Skull Knight, Full Metal Blaze, Agumon, Renamon, Wendigo, Geogray, Tsuno, Gao, Black War, Henry and Sue, and Shadow Seraphimon as a rare. Oh, that's a really spicy rare. It doesn't have like the normal rare foil treatment, unless this is an alt. So it might be an alt. I do like the fact that going forward, they are going to start putting the stars, so you could tell if it's an alt. I do believe that is an alt, though. Because it should be like normal rare foiling. That's like the biggest tell as of right now, is the foiling treatment on if something is an alt or not. Because this is an alt of a rare. So, Terriermon, Pekmon, Skull Knight, Full Metal, and Tila. So you could already start to see, like, because the set is so small, like, the repeats on all of the low rarity cards are very prevalent. Chaos and Nene and Kiriha. So I should see reasonably at least 1 more alt in this box, maybe a 3rd alt. So Agumon, Fake Agumon Expert, Greymon, Mailbird, Wendigo, Chio, Antila, Suno, Gao, Black, Gold Featuremon. I actually do like this card a lot. The fact that he's an Armor Digimon is really nice, and the fact that he's also a Featuremon is also really nice, so he has the ability to go into both Armor Rush, and he has the ability to go into All Force as well. And then, that's a rare Cherubimon. Oops. But I do like just a lot of what the set is at least attempting to do. Just because, like, all of the different decks that it's updating and trying to form as well, just makes it, like, super nice and flavorful. I think Digimon's, like, set design is getting better, where they're at least trying to include one deck you could build solely from the set. And EX sets, I think, kind of started that big trend with EX2. EX1 didn't exactly do the best job. It seemed like it attempted to do that with Machinedramon, but there just wasn't enough there for it, and EX2 kind of really rung that home with Mother, D-Reaper, and the D-Reaper deck. And then EX3 kind of continued that, where you had a lot of the Examon core, and you also had 4 Great Dragons, and you had the majority of the Imperial Virus line, as well as just like decks you could build almost exclusively from the set. Now, it's always better to just include a couple of like offset cards or cards from outside of the set, because there's like good synergy that some other cards have to enhance what the deck is already trying to do from within the set. So that's always nice. Hey, Blitz Greymon, I'll take that. That's one of the better supers, because that is a good super to go into the Omnimon deck. So I got 1 dud and 1 pretty decent one. So I think usually you will get on average a playset of like every common and probably... Okay, here's another alt, and it's a Chaos Gallant alt. But usually you'll end up with like a playset, if not a little bit more of a playset, of all of the commons, probably a playset of all of the uncommons. Maybe you'll get like some uncommon playsets that might not be a full playset and it'll be only 3. But I think with how few cards EX sets have, it should be a playset. And then you'll see like maybe at least 1 of every rare, if not 2 of every rare. So EX sets, for what they are trying to do, they're very, very generous, which is why I think like buying a case usually isn't the greatest of ideas financially. Just because, like, if everything is so easy to open on the low rarity side, it really puts a lot of stress and pressure on the high rarity stuff. And if the high rarity stuff isn't really worth it, then the set is completely garbage. I think, like, this set has some decent redeemable cards to try to hold the set together in terms of, like, making it something worth opening. But how well the Omnimon deck is going to determine, like, a lot of the cards' values in terms of, like, how they're going to hold for this set in particular. Just because Omnimon is one of the biggest, if not the biggest pull to wanting to pick this up. Because you do have the support for Shine Greymon that wants to play around with the BT12 and BT13 stuff eventually. So it's like, it has some good cards for that deck as well, and that deck is going to be a very powerful and prominent deck. Same thing with the Gaugamon deck. Like, you have stuff like continuing to get support and like being decent cards, but the value is just how open the set is going to be, how good the decks are going to be from it, and what's actually seeing play and what isn't. Yeah, so I already can see, like, just from half of this box, you already can see how many times you've seen specific commons and uncommons. I don't think commons and uncommons are going to be highly valuable at all in this type of EX set. So don't let the secondary market fool you. Usually when it comes to the secondary market, that's not what I want to see. Great Nightmon is an absolute trash card for a super. But don't let the secondary market fool you. Usually, most of the time, pre-sale prices are not super friendly because the stores that are able to list on pre-sale are just trying to control the market in terms of like what little control they actually have because of how little competition they have compared to everyone else. Yeah, I probably could almost build the Cherubimon stuff almost out of one box because, like, it really just comes down to, like, the megas in terms of how many I see, because I should be able to build everything on the low rarity. But when it comes to the secondary market, usually pre-sales are going to be, like, super expensive. Here's a base art Shadow Seraphimon. And you want to try to stay away from them as much as you possibly can. The only things that I would even like consider buying on pre-sale is like supers, secrets, or mostly alt arts and secrets. I was gonna say like some supers, but supers tend to like have some really big swings just because like supers are still relatively easily pulled because you do see a lot of them per box. So it's mostly the alts and the secrets. That's going to be like the highly speccable stuff. So, hey, Crescarumon's not terrible. So if you ever see like an undervalued secret, usually that's a good idea to try to pick it up ASAP. Because secrets have usually less swings because of how much less there are of them. And if they do have any swings, usually it's in the upward trajectory rather than the downward trajectory. Just because of, like, buyouts and whatnot. but it usually takes about a week for the market to actually settle when it comes to, like, a brand new set. So, usually, if you see a good deal within the first week, snatch it up as best as you possibly can. I know I've already missed a couple of good deals, but I didn't know exactly what I was opening, and I was at work while everything was, like, in flux. So I didn't have the luxury to be able to take advantage of that. But I know some people were. Ravemon, not bad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I should see one more super rare, and I might see one more alt art. Not guaranteed, though. And I have 5 packs left. So, just as an experiment before I get into box 2, I'll go through, like, all of the commons and uncommons, and even the rares, and I'll just start building something like the Terriermon deck, or the Alliance deck is what most people will probably call it, and kind of see, like, where I am already, just out of one booster box, just to kind of, like, show how friendly certain sets can be when it comes to just seeing cards to be able to play the game, which I think is, like, really, really good for a newcomer, just because they're trying to figure out what they want. This is rather low investment, especially if they buy the singles, or even if they just do buy one booster box, they would have some trade fodder to start trading for some other cards. So it's not like it's that bad of a thing. Because, yeah, here's another Cherubimon. That's already Cherubimon number 2 or 3, at least. So, we're almost done with box 1. And then I'll open up all of the box toppers separately. So, there is a Omnimon Alter S in the close. That's a good one. No Kazuhamon, which I think is one of the more expensive supers, just because she's a really good generic card for both yellow and blue, and she also can fit inside of the Sakuyamon deck. So that the more usability a card has, usually the more desirable a card will be, and the higher the price it will tend to have as a result. So I don't know if I'm going to see... Yep, there's another alt art. So, I did get 3 alt arts and 1 secret. So, that's already pretty good. For box number 1. I wish the secret was a little... Or the other alt art was a little bit better, but I can't really complain just because all of the alt arts is, like, where the value is. And I do actually kind of like this Victory Greymon as just a pretty generic, like, card. Just to get people, like, started, get their feet wet, kind of figure out what they want, and just still can synergize with a lot of the Greymon synergy. So, this last pack really shouldn't have anything spicy. Nope. Alright, so before I continue with box number 2, let's go ahead and try to do a little bit of a thought experiment and see where I currently am with the Alliance deck. So I do have an Alliance deck profile on YouTube. I do a lot of deck profiles as much and often as I possibly can when it comes to just all of the different sets that, or decks that a set supports. So it looks like I have an average of 2 of each rare per box, which is already pretty generous because I have, like, the majority of the good megas and some of the tamers. So I would, off of one box, still kind of need to subsidize, but it's already looking pretty good in terms of, like, the easeability on being able to build the Alliance deck. I don't think the Alliance deck is, like, that bad, but it's also not good in the grand scheme of things for where the meta currently is as of EX04, thanks to just how powerful BT12 was of a set and what it did for their respective decks. So, I'm just also going to be pulling out the Agumons just because. Trying to get a full spectrum. Oh, he was a common. Huh. How did I miss that? Yeah, so it looks like with the uncommons, you'll see an average of 3 to 4 of any given uncommon. So some uncommons you'll get 4 of, some uncommons you'll get 3 of. Fortunately for the Alliance deck, you really don't need the Black Rapidmon. I think that the level 4 is pretty decent. And you kind of also, like, if you're just building out of the box, you kind of do just need to run the level 4. So only having 3 isn't that big of a deal, because this is the worst of the level 4s, and I think the others are pretty good. I do wish I had 4 eggs in one booster box, but some booster boxes might have 4 eggs. And then we get to really see now, with the commons, how many of any given common that we get. I probably should move the rares up here. Truly. Terriermon. Because they also do, like, we could run some of the options. I don't think Tarnished Hero is the best of options for the deck. It's not, like, awful. I do think that the other option, the big removal one, is definitely the better of the options. Heaven's Judgment, that's the option. Let me go back and see if I missed a Heaven's Judgment then. Or, yeah, because that's a common. There's a Heaven's Judgment. Alright, continuing. Terriermon. Wasn't Terriermon Expert a rare? I don't remember what rarity Terriermon Expert was. Tainted. Truly. Wow. Antila. So I already have a full playset of Antilas, and I'm still not even done looking through my uncommons. Or my commons, I mean. And there's a full playset of the Terriers, so I'm just pulling out all of them. So you can already see that I'm starting to get an overflow of the commons. And this is just the byproduct of having less cards in the set means you're going to be seeing them more frequently. So I do like normal BT pull rates a little bit better, but at least they give you enough basic cards to be able to build a deck relatively easily with, even just out of one box alone. Tainted Hero, Blob, Antila, Wendigo, Heaven's Judgment, Antila, Terrier, Wendigo. I know sorting cards isn't the most entertaining thing, so I do apologize for that. Especially when there's more boxes to open. Ah! Card down, card down! Alright, so that's all of the commons. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 2 full playsets of a common. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like you'll get 7 to 8 of any given common. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's 6. So it's 6 to 8 of any given. So the average is basically 7. So you reasonably should see 7 of any given common. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I was building the deck, I need the 4 Terriers. These can go away. 4 Lops. These can go away. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Wendigos. These can go away. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Antilas. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Teruis. 2, 3, 4. 4 of the other Antila. So now we have most of our rookies. We have our level 4 lineup with the 3 Black Gaugamons. Then the 4 Teruis and the 4 Wendigos. So that's our level 4 lineup. Then our level 5 lineup is obviously going to be the Antilas. And then our level 3 lineup is going to be the Terriermons and the Lopmons. And then I don't remember what rarity Terriermon Expert was, but I should have pulled that aside. So you could already see, like, I'm already really close to being done with the deck in terms of being able to build it. I think Terriermon Expert was a rare. I'm just double checking. Yeah, there's Terriermon's Assistant. So Terriermon's Assistant is a rare, and it is the other common or other level 3 for the deck. So most of my level 3s are already done. My level 4s are done. My level 5s are done. I got a good portion of my level 6s done. I'm almost done with my eggs. Like, you can see how easy it is to be able to build something like the Alliance deck just out of this set because of how generous the pull rates are. And then when it comes to the options, you could just use these as, like, filler to fill in the rest of the gaps. So, like, 4 Heaven's Judgment and 4 Tarnished Heroes, just as an example. I don't think the deck needs 4 and 4 of them, but, like, they're good filler for just whatever you're missing. I know the deck probably would at least want to use Heaven's Judgment. So that is it for box number 1. All in all, I don't think box number 1 was bad at all. It wasn't the greatest box in the world, but it wasn't terrible. Actually, I'll just put them in the respective box for right now, and then I'll organize them more later. Uncommons, stuff, rares. And then the Alliance deck, because how many cards do I have in the Alliance deck right now? Outside of eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So I'm already 35 cards into the Alliance deck being complete. If I used the options, I would be a little bit closer. So it's a relatively new player-friendly deck and set. Come on, garbage. Work with me. Thank you. And then your box topper also could help go to make whatever you're trying to make, depending on what the box topper is. So the box toppers this time, they do have a chase card in it. The chase card is actually pretty hard to pull. Even though you'll see pictures online of people pulling them left and right. They are supposedly hard to pull. But the box toppers this time around are of the tamers inside of the set. So, going into box 2. Nothing. Hey, Black Mega Gargamon. Not exactly the greatest card in the world, but not bad, especially if you're building the Alliance deck. because that would have been a super rare to go into the deck if I was missing any megas. Just some generic, decently cards. Hey, there's the Kazuhamon. I was looking for her in the other box. So that just means one less I need to get. Although I generally get a playset for my playset binder. And then I usually buy a second playset to play with. Just because Digimon is cheap enough of a card game where I could do that for the majority of SRs. The secrets are something I can't necessarily do that often. Some secrets do end up being really, really cheap. Omnimon Alter S, I'll take that. But some secrets do end up being really cheap just because they're not, like, super good or played. And then the older the secret is also and the less it sees play, the higher chance that it won't accrue any value. But as far as like some other standout cards from this set, I do think the Guilmon for Gallantmon decks is absolutely huge. Just because the Guilmon has Rush and Gallantmon has ways to be able to play it out. Even just hard playing a Guilmon for 3, having it have Rush is still just really, really valuable. Because it can transfer that Rush to the higher stages. Just because I believe it says this Digimon gains Rush, which means if you Digivolve it, it retains that Rush, rather than the Digimon just statically having the ability of Rush. I'd have to double check it if I see it. But a lot of the, like, Black, or Chaos Gallantmon stuff could still go into, Gallantmon and flesh out that deck and allow you to customize it more. Yeah, so it's on play, it gains Rush, so it would transfer the Rush ability to the higher stages. So you could use this with, like, the Takato to be able to Biomerge, and maybe not that instance, but it's just a good card. Like, just having a cheap Rusher, dang, that's unfortunate. Zikarumon, I like the art, but I know it's not a valuable card. So that is Alt Art 1 down. The chase card in the set is partially coming from the box topper, being the Omnimon Swart Defeat in silver foiling. Outside of that, the chase card is going to be the secrets, and the best secret of the set compared to the two is going to be Shine Greymon Ruin Mode. Just as a level 7, that card is insanely strong. Being able to shut the opponent out of an entire turn, practically. Hey, I'll take another Omnimon Alter B. Having some secrets is better than having no secrets. But Ruin Mode is definitely the prize card of the set. Gonna be the most expensive card, just because it's also a Greymon, and it's a Shine Greymon. So it can go into Greymon-based decks if they're playing inside of the color of yellow or purple. And then on top of that, it being a Shine Greymon works and interacts with the BT12 Marcus, and that deck is already looking to be super strong. The card is not going to be a 4 of in any deck, but the fact that it is just a very strong... Oh, speaking of, Shine Greymon Ruin Mode. I will take that 100% of the time. This is probably the big chase card of the set, just because it's the alt art version of the secret. So, 2 secrets in a box, I will take every single day. So, this Shine Greymon Ruin Mode is the big chase card of the set. especially the alt art, just because, again, it's just so highly playable, and it's just a very strong and impactful card that a lot of decks can go. So I'm super happy with at least this box in particular. This just kind of, like, the value is all tied up here more than here, and definitely nowhere here. So that means I still have at least one more alt art, I believe. And then, am I done with supers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have one more super and one more alt art. So, talk about getting the big chase. At least, like, the big base chase. Because, again, like, the Zwart defeat coming from the packs is definitely a huge pull. I'll take another Blitzgreymon. It just gets me one step closer to being able to build the Omnimon deck. Which I think, out of all of, like, the new stuff that this set is trying to do, and the new decks it's trying to form, ooh, Wraithmon Altar. I'll take that. I think that the Omnimon deck actually is the strongest, like, deck to be able to build inside of the set. I don't necessarily know how good it's going to be in the grand scheme of the competitive environment, because we're coming off of BT12 competitive environment, and everything else in the set kind of seems low power and isn't really going to be impacting the meta at all. But at least the Omnimon deck, like, if it kind of high rolls or is built correctly, it might have the potential to be competitively viable. So, that's pretty dope there. I think this box was a really fantastic box. I don't want to mix these up, so that way I can see if my box topper is just as good as the rest of this box. It could have been better, not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna complain, because for what the set is, this was probably one of the better boxes. The alt arts could have been better. I think I had, like, almost all of the, like, good SRs, so I'm not in too bad of a shape. My LGS, as always, did hook me up with these boxes, so huge shout out to my LGS. Unfortunately, they charged me a little bit more than they have in the past. They said that there's something funky going on with, like, the margins and pack prices increasing, so I understand. I'm still willing to pay that premium just to support my LGS, because without them, I don't have a place to play. And they do so much for me already that I don't mind spending a little bit extra to be supportive towards them. Because I paid 90 a box, which I think is already way too much for this type of set. Because, like, I've come from different card games where sets like this, the only reason why it's costing as much as a normal booster box is not necessarily because of the total different cards, but because of the amount of actual physical cards that you're getting. So, usually when that happens, these sets tend to tank very quickly, because it's super easy to pull most of the cards inside of them. So, starting off with a big nothing on box number 3. Yeah, if I could get a secret out of each of my boxes, I would probably be very content. There's another seed, not a good one, but saves me a whole quarter. Sometimes they do just have, like, good cards, and then they just have bad cards. Or, like, less desirable cards. It's not really that bad. It's just less desirable. Another Omnimon Alter S. So far, I hit an Omnimon in each box. That's what I am looking for. just to see how many playsets of supers I can make out of the 4 boxes. So if I can consistently hit an Omnimon in each of the boxes, that's pretty good for me, knowing that I only would need to buy an extra playset if I wanted to play around with the card, or just stash in my playset binder and use the playset that I opened. So let's hope that I see another Omnimon Alter S. So unfortunately, I'm not really looking to sell most of the cards that I'm going to be opening, just because out of the case, I do see a good influx of cards where I can sell. And I do have a TCG player shop. Ravemon base, not bad. Most of the time, I just put my high-end stuff on my TCG player shop. I'm not looking usually to sell a lot of the low-end stuff because that becomes too much of a hassle for an independent seller. And it's not like these cards are going to be worth anything in a week anyway, as far as the low rarity stuff. So it's just not worth selling because of how low value these cards are. So another Black Mega Gargamon. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see the Zeed or Victories. Those are the cards I want to avoid. At least the big 3 that I want to try to avoid. Anything else would probably be more acceptable. But yeah, so as far as like me selling cards, most of the time I do high rarity stuff. And then if people ask me, I will do special orders on low rarity stuff. Especially if you order enough of the low rarity stuff, then I could just bundle it all together. And then it's not as bad. There's the Victory I didn't want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm already almost done with most of my supers, and the majority of them were pretty disappointing, considering these are like the big whiffs of the set in terms of like the super rares. Anything else kind of just seems better. Not only the just card quality wise, but value wise as well. Because now I'm gonna have to be buying more. Hey, at least I got a Kazuha, so that was at least something. Because I would have liked these to be the Cress and the Blitz Greymon. Just because if I'm at least attempting to build the Omnimon deck, I have a better shot of doing that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I still have yet to see all of the good stuff in terms of the actual high rarity stuff. So we have all of the alt arts left to go as far as the big surprises. And the chance at a secret. But most of the time what I do with my bulk is, if anyone asks, oh, that's an alt Grey Knightsmon, that's probably not good. Most of the time I just hand out the bulk at locals to people who ask. It's just like, hey, I'm really missing a couple of commons from this set because I didn't feel like buying super heavy into the set. Do you have any extras? And I'll just be like, yeah, sure. Here you go. I've done that multiple times on multiple occasions for multiple people. So anything I could do to help build the community, I generally would. But as far as the set as a whole, I did a whole review on the set. So if you're curious on more of like my thoughts on it, I also do have a podcast. Oh baby, Alt Art Omnimon Alter B. That's a pretty good pull. I'll take that. But yeah, so if you're curious more on my thoughts about the set, I've talked about it in length in a set review, and then I've mentioned it in my podcast, which I still need to work on getting it up on other platforms, but sometimes that's a little bit of a pain. because I need to reactivate my my Apple account. That's not that great of a alt art. But I need to, like, reactivate my Apple account, and then, Apple, just going through Apple to set that back up is, like, absolutely a nightmare. One of my friends said it takes, like, at least a month, and I'm just like, that's something, I'm not looking forward to trying to do. But, obviously, if you're watching this live on Twitch, I do appreciate, Oh, another secret. Heck yeah. I'll take 2 double secret boxes any day of the week, especially with the secret being ruin mode. I'll take that. But yeah, so I do generally live stream all of my box and case openings. I am getting a case of BT13. I think, like, with how close the EX sets are to the BT sets sometimes, it just makes it really, really hard to want to go heavy into EX sets just because I know BT sets are better on average. So that's also part of the reason why I decided to end up just not splurging a whole lot on this set in particular. So I'm already super happy with these. Again, the boxes could be a little bit better, but double secrets, I will never complain about, ever. Like, the supers don't matter as long as the secrets are good, because the supers are going to drop in price first rather than the secrets. And then, I do generally try to host tournaments, on the weekends as well, just because that's what fits in my schedule. If I'm not hosting a tournament, usually I'm going to announce that I want to do some practice, for a competitive event. So, you're more than welcome to just hop in and play some games while I'm trying to practice as well. I just, on my Discord, want to try to create an extra opportunity for people to play, and kind of have it be more relaxed and casual of an environment. Because I don't want everyone to get, like, super sweaty and hate each other, for playing the same deck. Like, no, that's not what we're here for. We're here just to have fun. I mean, you could play the same deck every single time and win every single time. I'm not gonna say no or stop anyone for doing that, but, like, so far, the community that has slowly been forming around my Discord has been relatively kind and very helpful in terms of, like, helping new players out, and just being, you know, chill people. Grey Knightsmon, that's not what I want to see. So if I could see another Omnimon Alter S, I'd be pretty happy. Because then I'd at least have a playset of a super rare. Nope, Dark Knight. Like, I'm curious to see what EX05 is going to be like, because the theme of that is going to be around the 4 sovereigns, and then like, some beasts, and then we're finally getting Solarmon and Lunamon's lines in that set as well. And most of the time, like, EX sets also will help subsidize, like, some of the more recent stuff that came out. So who knows if there's any, like, Lugamon support in EX5 as well. Because he is a beast. He is a dark animal. Because, like, not everything in this set particular is meant to be, like, an actual alternative Digimon. Like, Ravemon, as an example, he's not really an alternate Digimon of anyone. So he's just in here to set up and support the Ravemon stuff that's going to be coming out in BT13. Oh, Altar Omnimon Alter S. Well, I did get an Omnimon Alter S playset just with one alt art. I'll take that. This alt art looks so good, by the way. Like, I love the art that Digimon does. They have not held back when it comes to art in the art department very often. Sometimes you will get a couple of cards where they do look kind of bland and they are just like cleaned up screenshots or like screenshotted poses just redone and reimagined. But those are usually far and few between. Most of the time you do just get a lot of new exclusive art and it all is absolute fire. Especially the alt arts. But that's because they want to make you get the alt arts. Because they're so pretty. Which I don't blame. So this is the last box. We are a little more than halfway done. We have 2 more supers to get. So I'm hoping maybe for probably just Blitz and Cress at this point. I'm okay with not getting another Omnimon because I got an Altar Omnimon. There's the Blitz. So maybe we'll get a Cress. I don't know if this set is seeded, where if you see Blitz, you're going to see Cress as well. Where if you see Victory, you might see Zed as well. But that's not necessarily the... I'd need to open up a case to really figure that one out and, like, see more people's case openings. I don't think that they're seeded this time. Most of the time when they are seeded, it's by accident. And they haven't, like, been super obvious about the seeds in a while if there were anything recent that was seeded. Yeah, it might feel seeded, just because of how small the set is. Ooh, Alt Art Blitz. Okay, okay. If I could get Alt Art Cress and then Cress, I'd be so happy. Because that means I would probably be maybe 1 off of a playset. I'd have to double check how many I have. And then if I get another secret, I'm gonna be super ecstatic. Like, getting a secret in every single box out of 4 boxes just feels very good. Knowing you got absolute max value out of what you could get in the set. Out of, like, limited pulls. Because obviously I could have gotten a case, but I just, again, don't feel like EX sets are worth buying a case anymore. I've been burned too many times on EX sets, and I'll just get the secrets. Oh, Alt Art Shine Part 2! Let's go! So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I have, potentially, I might be done with the, secrets, and alt arts, just because these are all alt arts, but I still have the possibility of getting a secret. And then I have 1 super to go. Nope. My piles are super loose. Ah! Stop sliding. Alright, I'm kind of nervous getting down to the wire here. Oh. Dodging packs. So, these 2 packs, one of them definitely has a super. And then the other one might have a secret. Oh, boy. I'm really bad at pull tabs, so that's why I almost never use the pull tabs. Okay, it is a Cress. That is good. That is one of the ones that I wanted to pull specifically. If it was a Kazuha, I also would have been pretty happy with that. Alright, so, last pack. Does this have a secret? Alright, last pack will go slow. Build up the suspense. Gauss, Guru, Tarnished, Deadly Axe, Gauga, Geel, Antila, Black Growl, Greymon, Rapid Bond, Tai... Nothing. At least I got a secret, so each box did end up having a secret for me, so I'm definitely not even gonna complain about that at all, especially since now I have 2 Shine Greymon Ruin Mode Alt Arts and 1 Shine Greymon Ruin Mode Base Art, which means if I wanted to place that, I just need to buy 1 Shine Greymon, probably Base Art, because I don't need to splurge on the Alt Art. Which is really, really good. And then I think I just need 1 Omnimon. So let's clean this and look at what we got. Look at the spoils. Would have been nice to have an extra secret, but I definitely cannot complain with the results out of 4 boxes. I think maybe also from like a viewer's perspective, getting a case and knowing exactly what I'm going to be getting doesn't necessarily make it any more interesting. So maybe for like EX sets, like just not showing a whole case probably is good. Build suspense, intention. So box number 4, Alt Arts. And supers. Box number 3. Alts. I'll just actually pair them up, because that makes more sense. Because I'm looking for playsets. Great Knights. Just to see how many playsets I got. If I got any. Alter S. Seed. Shine. Rave. Alter B. Seed. Blitz. Cress. I only got 1 Medieval Gallantmon, I think, but I'm okay with that. He's like one of the less exciting supers. So he's definitely... I think he's the 4th one you want to dodge. So like if you could dodge him, you're already in good shape. Victory. These are of rares, so they're just kind of gonna sit in their own little island. Alter, Rave, Cress, So I did end up getting a full playset of Blitz. Okay, so as far as specials, got a Shadow Seraphimon and Chaos Gallant. Not bad. I got 3 Shine Greymon Ruin modes. I'll take that every single day of the week. As far as the other secret, I also got 3. Just reverse, so I will take this reverse over that anytime. Or I'll take this reverse over this. Would have been nice to have a 4th shine, but I'm not going to complain with getting 3. That's pretty lucky. I did get a full playset of Omnimon Alter S. I got a full playset of Blitz Greymon. One of them is an alt art. I got a full playset of Black Mega Gargamon and a full playset of Ravemon as well. I'll just do this for the fancies. So, as far as what I need to buy, I need to buy 1 more Grey Knightsmon for the binder. I'm not building this deck at all. I need to buy 1 more Victory Greymon for the binder. one more Zeed Garurumon for the binder. One more Crest Garurumon, which that's not bad. 2 Kazuhas, and then 3 Medieval Gallants. So, all in all, I think I did pretty good out of 4 boxes. So, let's see if we get the Silver Omnimon out of the box toppers to kind of wrap things up.
So this is a better box?
This is a way better box. Well, I mean, I just got lucky. So, that's
so
probably...
they're still doing the nonsense?
I mean, this is just... the nonsense is always going to be there with EX sets, unless they decide to fundamentally change it.
Because of campaign?
No, it's not because of the campaign rares, it's because they're smaller sets. So far, all of my box toppers are mediocre at best. I think this is the best one.
Omni Alter B looks cool.
Nope. Alright. Well, didn't do so well on the box toppers. Still can't complain. Just because they're extra stuff. All in all, I think what I pulled for 4 boxes is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't need to buy that much more that I was hoping for. I'm probably going to wait and see how the market develops a little bit before jumping and buying them right this very second. Just because, you know, the market needs to settle. And as of the recording of this, it is on launch day of EX04. Then in literally like a month, we have the next set, which is going to be BT13, which I am going to be doing a full case opening. They're more worth it in the BT cases than they are in the EX cases. So, but yeah. So thank you all for watching this, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day.